All right, we are moving on to Module 10, where we will be working with exponents and polynomials, also looking a little bit at functions. So you might want to do a Google search for exponent rules and kind of come up with a sheet like this that you maybe have seen before, but we have the product rule, the quotient rule, all these different rules for exponents, and we're going to take a look at a few problems to get started here from 10.1 and 10.2, where we review the exponent rules. So taking a look at these problems that are in your note packet, the first one here, 1a, is multiplication, and we notice that we have like bases here of x. And so with multiplication, what we end up doing is we just add these two exponents together. And so taking 8 plus negative 2, we get 6. And that's the power that we'll put on the base, okay? Or the exponent is on the base. So the product rule associated with addition, all right? Next up, we see the product rule again, and this just has a little slight twist to it, is that we remember that when we have x or a constant, it's to the first power. And so I'm going to add 1 plus negative 7, and I get negative 6. Okay, so this is an okay answer, but if you read in the instructions, it said write your answer with only positive exponents. So what you have to remember is that there's a negative exponent rule that states if we have a to the negative n, then that equals 1 over a to the n. All right, so with the negative exponent rule, what I think about is that I'm going to take this term and I'm going to push it to the bottom of the fraction. So what I have on the top of the fraction is 1, and then I have x to the 6th. Okay, next up, I'm going to take a look at division, and division correlates to subtraction. So I take this top exponent, 3, subtract negative 1. You have to kind of be careful with the signs here, and when you do that, that makes 3 plus 1, which is 4. So I get x to the 4th. Okay. Now we might not always use x's. You can have different letters in here and stuff, and you can even work with just numbers. But we have to look at the bases match here. So I'm going to subtract the exponents, being careful with my signs. I take 2 minus negative 2, which is 4, and I get 2 to the 4th power, which again is an okay answer, but it says be sure to expand any numerical portion. And what they mean by that is to actually do the multiplication here, and so we get 16. All right. Next up, we just have a straight negative exponent problem, and we're going to push this to the bottom of a fraction. Okay, but we want to expand the numerical portion, and we get 1/49. Okay, and then this last one here, we get a review of our 0 power, and something to the 0 power is 1. Okay, so we know that, and you have to really kind of focus in that this is the only piece that's raised to the 0 power. So if I blew this up, what it looks like actually is this. And so this piece right here, this x to the 0, that's equal to 1. So I have negative 2 times 1, it's negative 2. Okay, so that gets us a little review of the division or the quotient rule and the product rule and the negative exponent rule and the power of 0 rule. All right, thanks.